Thanks to our sponsor, this episode of Crazy Fitness Guy Healthy Living Podcast was created using Podcastle. Podcastle is truly the easiest way to start your podcast. You can record remote interviews in studio quality sound. Editing is a breeze with a super intuitive and user-friendly audio editor. You can take advantage of their powerful AI tools like Magic Dust to optimize audio levels and remove background noise with just a single click. And I also use Podcastle to automatically transcribe my episodes, which not only lets me share the final transcript with all of you, my listeners, on different channels, but it even allows me to use their text editor to clean up any of the episode content I don't like, and I'll correspondingly edit the audio accordingly. Podcastle is amazing, all-in-one platform to create your podcast or any audio and video content. Give it a try at podcastle.ai. That is podcastle.ai. I am what you call an indie podcaster. If I run out of money, there's nobody backing Crazy Fitness Guy. How you can support Crazy Fitness Guy is becoming a premium subscriber to Crazy Fitness Guy Premium Podcast. Our first plan is called Load Crazy. You'll get 100% ad-free content with zero sponsorships and zero commercials. The second plan we have is called Crazy. For $3.99 a month, you get access to full episodes for the full library archives, early access to the shows. All episodes are ad-free, shout-outs on the show, and you will be helping support our mission, and all the episodes are unedited. For the next plan, if you go year-long for $30 a year, they're extremely crazy. You get everything in the crazy plan, plus you'll get access to exclusive members' private Facebook group, and bonus ask me about anything episodes, and you get to suggest topics for the show in the Facebook group. So if you want to help support Crazy Fitness Guy, there's 3 plans starting at $2.99 a month, going up to $30 a year. So it's $2.99. The next plan is $3.99, and then $30 a year. So thank you for all your support for the years, and I'm looking forward to continue making content just for you. Thank you. To become a premium podcast subscriber, click the links in the show notes and see which plan is right for you.
Welcome to Crazy Fitness Guy Healthy Living Podcast, where we strive to motivate people who are on the autism spectrum to live healthy lifestyles. If you think this podcast is only for people who are autistic, then think again. Whether you are autistic or not, we have a mix of content from healthy living to everything in between that makes up a balanced and healthy life. Autism is our backbone, and we strive to support the autism community by motivating, inspiring, and educating everyone about what autism is. Please welcome your host, Clare, who is a motivational speaker, autism advocate, author, and founder of CrazyFitnessGuy.com.
Welcome to another episode of Crazy Fitness Guy's Healthy Living Podcast. Today I have my friend Valerie here. Welcome to another episode of Crazy Fitness Guy's Healthy Living Podcast. Wow, that's a mouthful, especially on a Friday. Holy moly. Today I have my friend Valerie here. It's funny, I usually have people fill out a form to be on my podcast, but I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it got lost in the shuffle of switching tools. Note to self, don't do that again. Welcome, Valerie.
Thanks so much for having me, Jimmy. I'm glad to reconnect.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So I host the podcast Future Proof Career. I call myself a recovering career stressaholic. So I am trying to help people combat and squash that career anxiety and take control of their futures.
And what made you want to get into that kind of career?
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I'm a recovering career stressaholic, and I still am recovering from that. Just the sense of, oh my gosh, I could lose my job any day, and what's going to happen to me? I'm not going to be able to support myself. I have a family now, and how am I going to support them? And I've just been noticing that regardless of what industry you're in, if you work for the government, if you're a teacher, if you're working for a large corporation, a small company, everyone seems to be anxious now about their livelihood, about the futures. So my show is helping listeners combat that and give them the skills they need to take back that control of their futures. So we talk a lot about soft skills that you need. A lot of jobs are being automated by robots. That was expedited with COVID, of course. And what can you do to compete with these robots? Can you analyze data? Can you improve your communication skills? Improve your relationships and your network? So I have a lot of guests on to talk about that. And I do some solo shows where we really dig into those different aspects of it.
Now, when you say robots, do you think maybe some jobs are okay being replaced with robots? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, let's say sometimes customer service, depending how well that robot is trained. I know like for sometimes like with Amazon, they have a robotic chatbot, and it can pretty much get all your order information. So if you would just want a refund, you can just do it without even talking to anyone on the phone.
Yes.
But
yes.
but sometimes when you're talking to, I don't know, Comcast customer service, the lovely name brand and everything, and no one, you can't understand the person on the phone. They're just like, man, why did they have customer service again?
I know. Is it really customer service? Because I don't really sense the service part. Yeah, I totally agree. But I think automation is a great thing. I mean, really, if it makes jobs safer, if it allows human beings to have the opportunity to make an impact in a different way, I think that's a great thing. And from the business perspective, it makes sense. You can't fight it. A lot of jobs can be automated and should be. So they should do that. It's just a matter of the individual who's in that role to be aware that that's a risk, and to be, I guess, self-aware enough to know what to do, to have an alternate plan if their job was to be eliminated.
And what are some of the tips that you go over? Like, what are some helpful strategies?
Anything that makes you a human is a good thing to focus on. That's kind of been the trend. So that's communication skills. Can you speak directly and clearly in a way that's not necessarily going to offend somebody? Can you make your point in a way that makes it clear so that person knows what you need to do? Can you lead that individual, or can you lead a group of people and mobilize them to want to reach the same goal that you're wanting to reach? A robot's never going to be able to be a leader in that sense. Maybe some people could argue with that, but, most likely in our lifetime, that's not going to happen. I've seen a lot of people, it's kind of interesting, a trend of speaking in terms of like being on stage. So there's a lot of like, I had a politician who had an acting background. So people who are sort of more in tune with the arts is a trend that I've been seeing. So yeah, I mean, like I would say probably the best way to sum it up is just be a human being and be an authentic person, and that's going to make you stand out.
Well, that's what I try to do on social media every single day, to be human. I'm messed up on quite a few things. And I even admitted it on social media.
What did you mess up on?
Surprisingly, I messed up the date of when the Golden Globes were. Well, I mean, to be honest, it used to be in January, but then COVID came, and they moved it all the way to the last weekend in February. And it's like, how am I supposed to stay up on top of all this? I haven't watched it in years. I'm not going to watch it again this year because, of the horrible movie music. Have you ever heard of the movie?
Oh, music? I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, it's a really, let's just say they portray autism to be like the worst thing in the world. And I'm not buying a movie ticket to that. And it has 1,000 bad reviews, and it has 2 nominations for Golden Globes, and I hope it does not win.
But have you heard the drama about Emily in Paris?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so this made headlines because I don't know if you've seen Emily in Paris. I have. It is not award worthy. I think most people would agree to that. And it sounds like the showrunners flew out all of these people from the Golden Globes. I don't know what they're called, whatever their organization is, and treated them to like really fancy hotels and food and whatever. So people are like, well, that kind of is a little bit sketchy, like, are they just getting this nomination because they got all this great treatment? So, who knows, maybe with the movie music that happened too.
You never know. So how many people do you help people one-on-one, or do you just help people through your show?
Yeah, I help people one-on-one too. I've helped a few clients that are earlier stages in their career, because I think when we think about people who have career anxiety, you think of people who've been in a position for a long time and maybe their job's being phased out. But I'm seeing that career anxiety happening earlier too, which makes sense, so people who are in probably year 1 to 5 in their career, I'm helping them mostly at this point.
Have you ever had a motivational speaker?
Be one of my clients? No, I haven't. Do you think they would be a good client to have?
I don't know. I'm just
asking for a friend.
Yeah. Or me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jimmy, let's make it happen.
So how many years have your show been up and running for?
Not years. It's been months since September of last year. And I do 3 shows a week. So I'm really hitting the ground running with it.
Gee.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
That's what everybody says, but I was inspired by Jenny Blake. She has a show called Pivot, and she did for a while. She did daily shows, and she said that it helped her overcome her perfectionism. And when I started the show, I was so sick about it, like just the pushing publish button. I was so stressed that it wasn't perfect. It took me hours to edit it. It was not sustainable. So doing it 3 times a week has helped me immensely with that perfectionism.
Well, for me, I just know I know I can't do it because it's not because I'm lazy. It is, I run my own website. I have my own blog. I guess I'm still in school.
Yeah, you have a lot going on.
Yeah, and I'm speaking on many different podcasts as guests and conventions, and it's like, no thanks.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point though too, and that's something that can help people future-proof themselves is knowing how to manage your time and to spend your time in ways that strategically make sense. And if it doesn't make sense to you to
forget everything that you know about a web browser, because you will be blown away by Psychic Browser. It's no ordinary web browser like Firefox, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and all the other web browsers out there. It's based on productivity, and let me just name a few other functionalities that it has. It's very fast. It blocks ads by default. You don't see that with Google Chrome, do you? No. And there's also a sidebar, built-in sidebar, so you can have all your tools and systems all in one place without having to go search and wait for the web page to load. It's just right there with a click of a button. try Sidekick out below with the link in the show notes and descriptions for more information about Sidekick. It'll boost your productivity probably tenfold, because that's what I use it for, is productivity. Check out Sidekick and tell them I sent you.
Do 3 episodes a week, and I think you do once a month. I mean, if that's fine, then that works. So
I got 1,500 total plays for once a month, so
that's awesome. Oh, total plays. Well, that's still good. I mean, that's, if you think about it, this was the advice I was given. If you think about 1,500 people in a room, that's a lot of listeners.
Yeah. I don't know my total subscribers because it's only an estimate.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
People out there who are innovators, this is an opportunity for you to come up with better podcast
robots.
metrics. Yes, in this case, you need a human to figure this out.
How can I know my total RSS subscribers, newsletter subscribers, social media followers? Podcasts, we fall short.
Yeah, it's strange because you would think it would be a lot easier than it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know the total number of people visiting your website, but you can't know the total number of people who's listening.
Yeah,
we have an estimate of 133. So you mean there could be more or less? How do you market this?
Yeah, it's tough.
What's people's interest? Well, this show is doing a lot. Have a lot of plays. I don't know.
Speaking of podcasts, are you on Clubhouse, Jimmy?
No.
Do you know what Clubhouse is?
I've heard about it. I heard that they also got a data breach the other day.
Oh, they did? I did not know that.
Yeah. They got... Yeah, it was like a huge data breach now. Government is looking into that. And I'm like, really?
Yikes.
I was like, how do you get a data breach already? That's quick.
I was wondering too, what data do they have? It's all audio.
People's voices?
I guess, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, Jimmy, I was going to tell you I love Clubhouse. Maybe I shouldn't go there. Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of like podcasting, but you can speak, back and forth. Like as the listener, you can engage, which is pretty cool.
Someone invited me to Clubhouse, but I told them I can't be on one more social media platform.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you'd be good on it, though, especially as the speaker. I think that would be a good fit for you.
Yeah, maybe. I'll try it in the summer. I don't know.
Yeah. If it's still around, it sounds like it might be going through a rough patch.
Look what they say about Facebook when they first started.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Now people either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Do you use Facebook much, or what social media tool do you use?
I use a lot. I use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I use LinkedIn, pretty much every podcasting platform. Maybe not 100, maybe not all of them because there's so many gosh darn podcast platforms. But
yeah, there are, and they pop up, and it's like, wait, I've never heard of this. Like,
never heard of this.
I heard of hydrogen a little while ago. I was like, okay, that's new. I mean, maybe they have better analytics. Maybe I should look into them. Is
it free?
Right. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
I might have to check them out now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll send you a link. You can put it in the show notes.
Yeah, show notes. So if somebody was struggling, and I don't know, let's use me as example. If somebody was struggling for looking to get more speaking gigs and whatnot, how would I go about doing that? I mean, may not necessarily speaking opportunities, but if I'm afraid, did I just do my last one? Or is anybody ever, am I becoming dry, stale, boring, etc.?
Yeah. So the pillars of my program are STAMP. So have savings. And that has helped me a lot. If you're worried about not getting your next gig, maybe you're going to get laid off. If you have a buffer, a financial buffer, that's really going to help you feel better about that. So, stock up on some cash, have more than what some of the experts say. I would suggest having at least 10,000 per what your salary is per month. So if you make like 50,000 a year, try to have at least a 5-month buffer in addition to whatever else you're going to need. So have savings, work on your transferable skills. So for you, Jimmy, that might be like your networking, your sales, your marketing, work on those skills. That's going to help you get your name out there a little bit more. Amaze your employer, continue doing great work, follow up, send follow-up emails, send thank yous. So I think a lot of people get so stressed out that they forget to do the work that they're supposed to be doing. So keep doing awesome things. And then I think a big thing for this would be mindset. That's the M in STAMP. So why do you think you're done after every gig? That's not a healthy way to be living. That's not really a mindset of abundance. So, continually reassess that. Why do I feel like that? Is this reality, or is this just my anxiety sinking in? And then P is have a plan B. So I know speakers were hit hard with COVID, that's reality. So have some sort of plan B for you too. So, if speaking doesn't work out, I can do this other thing. I don't know. I have a course, or I do physical training or athletic training or whatever it is. So that kind of helps too, to know like, hey, if this thing doesn't work out, I'm mitigating my risk. I have this other thing that I can push on a little harder if something does happen. So
good idea. Good tips, because I don't feel that way. I just thought of some weird example. I don't know.
Well, and I think for the mindset piece too and what's tough for me is like, put it out into the world. Just say like on all your social media, hey, I'm looking for more speaking gigs. Anybody know anyone? And just start putting yourself out there more. And it may not result in anything, but it might. And just by you like putting it out there more, you might see more opportunities come to you.
I also noticed that there's just by I know for myself that maybe not even for myself, but I know there's some days where I do feel kind of nervous about certain things, just like, am I doing enough to get my name out there? That's funny. Yesterday, I had this, one of my blog posts that was recently published a week ago. Yeah, a week ago. Feels like a lifetime ago. And this, I was using a new tool for my researching process because I like to, my one main focus this year, and I have many different focuses, but my most important one is to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And because I want to be able to provide great value, I want to keep showing up. But if it's going to take me 10 hours to do this one thing, I hope it's not.
Yeah, but it could. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy what I do, but I'm thinking it's like, is there a smarter way of doing this instead of just doing everything manually? Because there's so many questions that could be asked in Google, and you have no idea what you can cover, and you want to have a thorough post. And so I found this tool, and the other, I think it was this year, beginning of this year, and they were doing this like one-time purchase thing. Their regular plans cost like $5,000 or $500 a month, and it's like, holy crap! And it's like, maybe I should get one of these codes to try it. In the worst case, I got 60 days money back guaranteed for any reason. And what's funny, one of my articles was shared on a Facebook page from this company that has 69,000 likes and followers on it. I'm like, that's the first that's the first time ever that my blog post has gotten shared on a company's Facebook page.
Wow. So it worked.
Yeah, I'm like, I love you, tool, and it's like you're the best thing I've ever purchased.
Oh, wow. Well, do you know the name of it? What is this thing?
It's called Market Muse.
Okay.
Yeah, so far I found it helpful. What's kind of cool, and again, for people who's listening to this, I'm not an affiliate marketer for it, and I'm not a partner with it. I've used it twice so far, and just because of my weekly blog posts, and I do it once a week. Researching for it, my posts. And what's kind of cool what they do, they tell you, hey, here's what your competitors are ranking for here, and the color codes stuff for you. And it shows you, it's like, here's what they haven't covered. And I think the red one is that I think the red means that they either covered. I forget the color coding. You can people can easily Google it and what the color coding means, but it tells you what the competitors covered and what they haven't covered, and if they and even if they covered something, you can still cover it, but make it your own, because Google likes people making their own, but just including it helps a little bit to get your name out there. And it's like, hey, look, I'm on. I know what I'm talking about with this topic and here and there, and I have my own experience with this topic, and so I find it pretty helpful. And when I saw that, I was like, I don't know if this is because of this tool, but what I was doing before was not really working. But I saw a difference. I haven't pinned a point to this tool, but hell, if anything's working, sure, it's worth the money for me.
Yeah. It sounds kind of like TubeBuddy on YouTube. You can type in your keywords for your YouTube video, and it tells you if that keyword is strong or not based off of the demand of that phrase that you're using and how saturated it is. So like I looked up like business school is overly saturated, but business school right out of undergrad is a better one to use. But yeah, I like that. I've heard some tips for podcasters that to grow your audience, you need to figure out what your audience wants by looking at Google search metrics and things like that. And I wasn't sure how to do that. So I'll have to check out that tool.
It saves a lot of hours of Googling stuff, I even have a keyword research tool. I know I still use that just to find my main topic. But then when I find, here's what I want to rank for and want to go after for, then I plug into this tool and say, it gives me so many different alternatives of what I can put in the copy and whatnot. And it's like, I hit the jackpot.
Awesome. I'll have to try it out.
I can send you the link to it after the show.
Sure. Yeah. And I think you should reach out to them to be a sponsor too.
Yeah, I probably should, but
right.
Probably like, no, we don't do sponsors.
Yeah. You never know. Mindset.
Companies don't want us to pay extra.
Yeah, I know. But they've got budgets, so.
Get your customer service first, depending if they're bad or not. I'm not going to name any names. Comcast. Sorry, I just sneezed. Anyway,
I don't think they're known for that.
No. So, do you enjoy what you do? Do you enjoy helping people with what for your career?
Yeah, I do. I do enjoy that. And with podcasting, I think it's brought on so many other things too. Like personally, I've grown my network. We wouldn't have met without podcasting. I think that's awesome. And it's also helped me with my own personal confidence too. I just talked to another guest, and I'll be sharing it soon. And we talked about how, we feel like now our voice is out there into the world and our voice matters. And I think that's a huge personal win for me as well. So yeah, some personal things as well as just the excitement of helping other people too.
I agree with you as well. I know for myself, I like the feeling that I get to know that, hey, people want to know what I have to say. I even keep. Thanks to our sponsorship with Deep Stash. You're probably wondering, what the heck is Deep Stash? Well, Deep Stash allows you to learn new stuff every single day. You can become the smartest person in the room with unlimited access to 200,000 plus powerful ideas from top books, podcasts, and more. They have a generous free plan. And if you want to check them out, click the link below in the podcast descriptions. Either or will work. But definitely check them out, because if you're a daily learner like me and like to learn new stuff, I don't always have time to read 11-minute articles or 15-minute articles during the day. So with Deep Stash, I can listen to them on the go while I'm driving the car or on an airplane, etc. So go check out my friends at Deep Stash. You won't regret it. I know for myself I know I get tired of watching the news, listen to people's politics. So I've always promised myself, if I'm gonna be on the internet, I'm gonna podcast. There's no politics, money, religion, or anything. I mean, just to keep it to myself, and because why do I want to piss off half of my audience?
Yeah.
It's like what Johnny Carson said, the talk show who used to be around, and he always say, "Why would I want to piss off 50% of my audience?" I wouldn't.
I think that that's true, but sometimes there may be a point where it's worth pissing off some people too. Like you were talking about how that movie, maybe wasn't really portraying autistic people in the correct way. You might offend somebody like, I love that movie, I worked on that movie, and it's okay. It's worth it to you just to say something like that, I think. So just kind of knowing yourself and knowing when it's worth the fight and when it's not. Well,
I forgot to mention about the movie. It's also 45,000 people signed a petition and from the autism community, and no one liked it.
Oh, really? It just generally wasn't a good movie either.
Yeah, I mean, people want this to be not even considered for the two Golden Globes that's nominated for, and they put it in the movie category /music/comedy. If that's a comedy, that's very sick.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, that's a stretch. I was like, maybe you should just put in the category called music, because perhaps it did have really good music in it. I don't know, because I'm not watching it, and I'm not going to pay for a movie ticket that somebody has a strong opinion that I need to be fixed.
Yeah. I think that this, though, is what makes you have a good platform, though. You know what you stand for, and you stand for it. You don't agree with that movie. I think people want to hear that. They don't want to hear someone who's sort of wishy-washy about things like, well, maybe it's okay, I don't know, So I think to have that conviction about what do you believe makes people want to listen to the show.
And I also I even tell people, I was like, if you like, it's like, if you have a different opinion than me, sure. I was like, I don't mind. And I was like, tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me how you're feeling. And I was like, I was like, we don't need to fight about it. I'm open to discussion. I can see different people's points of views on stuff. I'm an open-minded person.
Yeah, be open-minded, but then still stand for something.
Yeah. I'm not one of those people who's like, la, 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 not listening, la, 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I have a newsfeed reader. I can read from different perspectives. Like one person says the movie music is awesome and people should go see it. 45,000 people absolutely hate the movie, but I'm in the middle of, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah.
Because I can't say I physically hate it because I told people on my last episode, never seen it. But
I'm trying to think of a movie that I've refused to see. Probably scary movies. I hate to watch anything like that, horror movies. I don't get it.
What about one of the scary movies but is a spoof off of a scary movie?
Like Scream back in the day. Did you ever watch that?
No, I never watched it, but what about the movie Scary Movie?
I've never seen it. I never gave it a chance. Should I?
Yeah, they're funny. It's like Scary Movie 3 is funny. They based it off The Ring. And it's just really funny. Like at sometimes it's kind of like, if you're first seeing it and it's kind of, I wouldn't say dark, but you might like feel off about it. But then when you're watching it with a friend or you just seen it multiple times, you just know which part's coming next, and it's like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, right. You have to be in that right headspace, maybe.
Yeah. So do you have any other tips that might be useful to the listeners?
Yeah, I would say never stop learning and to be really conscientious, though, of how you're learning, if that helps. So I know a lot of people right now, I just did an episode on MBAs, and the application rates are soaring for MBAs right now. People are losing their jobs. They're worried. They're trying to pivot. So a lot of people are running into some of these master's degrees. And I would just caution people to really think about what your goals are and don't make decisions based off of fear. You know, maybe an MBA is the right decision for you, but really look at how much it's going to cost and what are you hoping to get out of it. You have to have a purpose. And we talked a lot about MBAs on my show this week, and that's something on the top of my mind right now.
How much do they cost? Like $6 billion a year? Pretty
much. Well, the top tier schools are between like 150,000 to 200,000. So it's pretty expensive. And then if you look at the salary coming out of those schools, it's like an average of 150,000, which is a high salary, but I actually expected them to be higher coming from like a Harvard or something like that. And then I found that the lowest cost MBA program that you can get is from, I think it's called like Georgia Southeastern University. It's online, and that's $7,000 for the entire program, which is amazing. And so, just really look at the cost of things. If you're trying to go to a top tier school, do you want to be like a C-suite corporate employee at one point? Is that why you're doing it? Are you just looking for the name? If you're looking for the network, that's great. They have a great network, but there's other ways to do that too. So just be smart right now. Just be strategic, because it is stressful. Like career anxiety is at a peak right now. So take a second, step back, journal, do whatever you need to do to really come up with a plan.
Wow. Here's an idea for Zoom. They need one that, I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie called The Mask with Jim Carrey?
Oh, right. A long time ago, yes.
Well, I think they should have like some kind of, I wouldn't say a Zoom background, but some kind of like, I don't know, like on Facebook and social media, you can have like those funny faces to your face, but they should have like one for the mask. And so just the one where this jar is dropping up and like, Every
I
time
like that.
something that says a dollar amount, like,
Yeah. That'd be good in like a really stuffy business meeting, to do that. Have
we
you
just lost this
seen
amount of money.
Right. Have you seen it's like a viral video where there were some attorneys and they were in court via Zoom and he was a cat? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
And it was like this really serious meeting and he's like, I'm not a cat. I cannot get the cat off of my screen. And everybody was just being really serious. It's funny. You should check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, but for me, I know I always try to learn new things every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of books. In total, so far, I've read like 248 books.
Wow.
That
Like
was not. It was not
your
a
whole
year.
life? Or okay.
I don't know how I would do that.
Yeah, unless it's like Cat in the Hat and some books my kids read that has like one word on each page.
I finished.
Yep.
The cat jumped.
Right. Yep.
Man, if only I could write a book like that.
I know. It seems easy to write a kid's book until you actually try to write a kid's book.
I don't think I could do it.
No, it's not as easy as it looks. There's definitely a lot of bad kid books out there.
None comes to mind at the moment.
For me, it's usually ones that have like unnecessary name calling and stuff like that. And it's like, why? It's usually from a few decades ago where it seemed like the norm for kids' behavior was different. When you look at old Disney movies, it's definitely changed a lot.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, how many people do you normally help in a day?
Oh, goodness. Well, I do still have like a regular full-time job, a corporate job. So I like to think I'm helping in a different way in that role. Probably like I'm still starting out. So one-on-one clients, I've only had a few of those at this point. And then I like to think I'm helping people when I do my interviews too. So I don't know if I had to quantify it. Maybe I reach out to individual people like 5 times a week, 5 individuals.
And do all of them accept or?
Oh, no. Like my guests definitely don't. Yeah, I would say the hit rate for guests is like 30% maybe say yes. Yeah. And this is another thing with podcasters. I think there's some who only reach out to warm leads, and that's a lot easier. So if you already know the person, like what we're doing, that's a lot easier of an interview. But sometimes I'll see an interesting person or a celebrity and I'll be like, hey, can you be on my show? And I never hear back. And then I follow up and I still don't hear back. So that happens. But I still think, trying to be an optimist, 30% is pretty good. That's 30% that said yes, glass 30% full.
I would take 30%. I'd take anything. I think ever since my one of my friends kind of just had a friendly bet with me about getting as many podcasts as possible before Thanksgiving of last year. I mean, I was still doing quite a bit of shows, but I cranked it up because it's like, are you kidding me? I was like, no one should bet me.
Did you have any favorite shows or any shows that stood out?
I don't know. There was a lot of them. I would say they were. It probably would sound very corny if I say that they were all my favorite. Mm-hmm. I had to say it kind of is all my favorite.
Yeah, well, that's good though. That's good that you didn't have any like notably bad experiences.
I mean, I know some of the ones where I had poor lighting on the show, and then I had to move to my dad's office in the house. But now I finally got my own ring light, which is pretty good. And at least it changes colors. Holy, goes from
cool.
blue.
Could give you a
white.
Tan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Give me a nice tan.
Yeah.
I'm at the beach. I would
Right.
love to be at the beach.
Yeah, that would be nice. You're in Pennsylvania? Yeah. Yeah, not a beach area.
Yeah, no. I'm in the colder Arctic area.
Same here. It's warming up though in Wisconsin, so hopefully spring is on its way.
I used to go to Wisconsin every single summer.
Oh, nice.
But that changed. I can't say that out loud or why it changed.
Hopefully Wisconsin didn't do anything to you.
No, not
If
Wisconsin.
so, I don't represent the whole state.
No, not yet.
Yes. Mindset. That's true. I don't represent the state yet. I like that.
So, where can people follow you on social media?
Yeah. So I'm on Future Proof Career is my podcast. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Valerie Zaric, Z like zebra, ARIC. And that's my handle pretty much everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse as well.
And do you have a website as well?
Yes, valeriezaric.com. And you can listen to podcasts on that site as well. You can apply to be a guest if that's something you're interested in. And I think there's a link to like leave the show a review too, which is always helpful for us in podcast land.
That's for sure. I'm always looking for reviews. Always finding them, trying to find them.
Yeah, I heard a theory that what gets podcasts ranked is not necessarily reviews. Like I've always been told that, but it's actually subscribes. So, subscribe to the show too. I'll just put that out there. Subscribe to all the shows you like. I think that does help us.
And it's really funny. I don't know how how those platforms know how many people subscribers that they have, because if it's all an estimate, then we should all be at the top.
Yeah, that's a good point too. So I listened to a podcast and they did some testing, and they outsourced this service on Fiverr. Do you ever get these services where they say, "Hey, I can promote your podcast for you for $5 or whatever"? It's like
probably like $2,500 a day.
Oh goodness. No, this is like an inexpensive. And they basically have this is my impression, like computer farm where people are just subscribe through all of their iTunes accounts. And they said that's what gets you up in the charts. So like the top 100, and that's going to get people to find your show. But it is against the terms of service to do that. So yeah, I'm scared to do anything like that could get my show in trouble. So.
Well, I don't think I've gotten into trouble yet with Apple. Not yet. There's always that maybe.
You're a rebel.
I probably ticked them off a few times. Let's just say it was not my glorious moment.
Got to hear this story.
Okay, fine. I'll tell it.
Okay.
Let's just say I was trying to get onto their news platform. They gave me kind of the worst response ever. And I called them out multiple times for it on social media. I didn't like their response. I was like, come on, that's ridiculous. And then so their PR person actually reached out to me.
Oh, wow.
And they said, I'm so sorry for the response that we gave you. You deserve more than what we gave you.
Oh, nice.
And I actually still kind of keep in touch with that person just to have a relationship with Apple.
Nice.
And I was like, this is the first time a company actually apologized to me.
That's pretty good, though. So, see, you're probably not on the bad side. That was pretty, I don't know, good of them to do that.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, now if only I could get some other companies to do that.
Yeah, right, right. It would be nice.
I have to quote one of my favorite shows called The Blacklist,
Oh,
and I don't know, have you ever seen it on NBC?
yeah, I had to quit though. It was too much. Is he the dad? Is he not the dad? Is he her father? Is he not? I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't care anymore. I watched like 7 episodes or 7 seasons, and I was out. So
I'm gonna get back into watching it because I just love all the lines and I want to know who he really is. And I actually watched behind the scenes of it. I mean, like of some of what the director said, and he's like, "You're not gonna know who he really is until the show is completely over." And I was like, unless it get canceled, you'll know who he is.
you're talking about the James Bader
Yeah.
character.
And I was like, I want to find out who he really.
It's too much. I don't know if I can. I can't do it. It's too much of a commitment to make it to the last episode.
I've done it on a few different shows, but one of my favorite quotes, I think that would be appropriate, was it's like something along the line of, geez, there's so many good quotes. Now, of course, when I'm looking for it, doesn't come. But anyway, I it is a funny, well, I would say funny, but it had some funny lines in it, and
It was written well. It is. I would give it that. I enjoyed the seasons I watched. It was just time for me to part with it.
but yeah, I definitely think I'm going to go back to it because it's just the funny lines, and it's like. Yeah, so some of them was like, it's like, why do something if there's not fun in it or something like that? And yeah, like when I actually used one of their GIFs on Facebook yesterday, and like I was getting all these emails every single day by this person saying, "Hey, can you add a link to my website and everything?" I'm like, if I haven't answered you the first 3 times, let's try 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes, well, at least they're persistent.
Yeah, and I was like, why can't email be smart just to get rid of these people?
Yeah. Dream world having an assistant to take care of that.
But the companies need to make email super smart, and it's like, this person is abusing the system and abusing this email address, automatically get rid of, block. And
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was like, I hate email.
Yeah, I know it's hard to keep up with it. And there's so many places you can get emails or whatever you call it now, messages. There's like LinkedIn messages, Facebook messages, Instagram messages. And it's like, do I have to like really check all of these different places? It's a lot to keep up with.
And I like all the sponsors messages on LinkedIn, and it's like, hey, did you know you can do this? And it's like, hey, did you know? I don't care.
Now you're gonna get a apology note from LinkedIn.
Well, I mean, it's not even from LinkedIn. They're just a bunch of companies and people sending me sponsor messages, and it's like,
it is a lot.
Don't feel like it.
But I said my 30% hit rate was good. Maybe they get a 10% hit rate of people who actually open the emails, and that's probably a lot of people for them.
I just ignore it all.
Yeah, I usually do too.
The only time when I either don't ignore it is I'm looking for something specific from someone, but unless that's not the specific person, done, trash, ignore.
Yeah, you don't have time for that. You have too many things going on, Jimmy.
Especially when people just message me and say, hey, never hear back from them again. And it's like, who the hell is this person?
Yeah. Hopefully I haven't been guilty of that. Hey, Jimmy. And then I failed to follow up.
Well, some person like messaged me like the other day asking me if I still want to be like, I mean, didn't even ask me. It like just sent me a calendar link, and it's like, who's this person? And I didn't even introduce them. And it's like, hey, I'm from so and so group. I'm in like 20 different Facebook groups, and it's like, who the hell are you?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to ask the person, like, are you legit? And it's like, yeah, I'm legit. And it's like, okay, I'm just making sure, not trying to be offensive or anything.
But
But
it is a lot of spam. So,
I was like, I get like the thousands of spam messages a day and email and
mm-hmm.
Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
can I have a filter that says legitimate only?
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out.
I mean, like, I would love this be a feature.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's kind of funny that LinkedIn would offer that.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Hey, opportunity, app opportunity.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we wrap up, do you have any other suggestions?
Probably my final suggestion. I think that there's a point where career anxiety is kind of normal. Everyone's a little bit curious about the future, and very few people feel like excited about the future every single day. So there's some level of anxiety that's normal. And if it's not normal, if you're feeling, like physically distressed, mentally distressed at all, then definitely get some help. There's so many resources now, especially with COVID, virtual resources that you can utilize if that stress is getting to be more than what you think is healthy.
And yeah. For one more thing, there's I know for myself that writing in a journal has helped me deal with some of the stress. I even have a blog post that a company shared on their Facebook page, so
cool.
They must really like that post as well.
Nice.
Because it's not like I told them to go share it. They just mentioned my brand name, CrazyFitnessGuy, along with the post, and it's like, wow, I guess you got shared on a 69,000 likes and followers Facebook page, and it's like,
yeah,
woohoo,
exciting!
I'm going up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's where I'm going, or I don't know.
I would suggest for you too is like doing some outreach to press as well. Being, you can reach out to press with pitches of different stories and articles to get your name out there as well.
You mean like the local press?
You could do local and then work your way up to some of the bigger press.
How would you go by doing that?
Yeah. So I did a boot camp class about how to do this. There's people you can hire to help you with it, but you can just send a pitch. So say like whatever your pitch is, movie, music, or is that what it's called? Music, the movie, doesn't represent the autistic community, could be your pitch, and then send it out to different outlets and see if someone picks it up. You might get a 1% hit rate, you never know, but just like pitch some different story ideas out there. Yeah, and then when you're doing that, then you say, hey, and I'm Crazy Fitness Guy, check out my site.
I might try that.
Yeah. I would try that. And the other thing you could do, there's HARO, Help a Reporter Out, HARO. Are you on that?
Yeah. I haven't done anything in a while with them.
Yeah, I haven't had luck on there, but a lot of people have. And then there's another tool called Quoted, QWOTED.
Yeah, have to send me that link to that one.
Yeah. And that's kind of like a HARO where you connect with reporters. But you have such a good niche that I think there's opportunity for you.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks for being a guest on Crazy Fitness Guy's Healthy Living podcast. Let's stay in touch.
Thanks so much, Jimmy. It was great being here.
Thanks for tuning into Crazy Fitness Guy Healthy Living podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. Your reviews help us be discovered by more people all over the world. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast so you get notified of every new show. In the meantime, please connect with us on social media at Crazy Fitness Guy and follow Jimmy Clare at Jimmy Clare Speaker or Jimmy Clare Speak. While you wait for another brand new episode, please go check out CrazyFitnessGuy.com. Check out the latest blog posts, events, sales, and more. Hope to see you again next time.
Hydro Flask is the best water bottle in my opinion because it keeps my water nice, cold, and refreshing throughout the day. And yes, I do drink a lot of water throughout the day, so even though it stays colder for longer, I still like having a reusable water bottle like Hydro Flask because it is sits on my desk, and it just sits on my desk and reminds me, hey, you gotta drink water. And Hydro Flask, it keeps it cold longer, which makes me want to drink more water throughout the day because, there's nothing worse than drinking warm water. Go to hydroflask.com and use the link in the show notes. And yes, I do get a small commission from Hydro Flask, which also helps support the show. So tell them I sent you. Use the link below. And check out hydroflask.com for more information.